Sha-la-la-la. County fair, closing time. Stacking ticket stubs, the midway lights were growing dim. The Calliope played one final tune as the crowd grew thin. You tugged the sleeve of my old jacket with that hopeful little smile. One more ride before we leave, so we stayed a little while. The wheel turned slow, the night stood still. Some memories always will. The last seat on the Ferris wheel rose above the county lights, where little dreams look big enough to fill the summer night. You squeezed my hand, the whole world disappeared above the noise below. The last seat on the Ferris wheel is where I never let you go. At the very top we stopped a while, waiting for the cars beneath. You pointed toward the little town, sleeping peacefully. The church bell, the water tower, Daddy's Chevrolet. Everything looked small enough to never drift away. You whispered, promise. I whispered, always. Neither one of us knew time was listening. The last seat on the Ferris wheel still circles through my dreams, turning slow through golden summers, exactly as it seemed. Every August brings me back there, where the evening sky turned blue. One last ride, one first forever, shared with you. People spend their whole lives trying to get somewhere higher. Funny thing, the highest place I ever reached was sitting beside you, 20 feet above a little county fair. Round again, don't come down. Stop for me. It's still turning somewhere just beyond what eyes can see. If heaven has a midway and summer never ends, save the very highest seat. I'll bring the tickets, you bring that smile, and we'll fall in love again. Sha-la-la-la. County lights, stars above. One last ride, endless love. Round and round, forever young. After all these years, it was hanging in the back of my closet, behind an old winter coat, a faded blue Letterman jacket with your handwriting on a note. The sleeves were torn and weathered, the colors weren't the same, but I could still see 17 standing there inside the frame. Funny how a piece of cloth can hold 1,000 days, 1,000 words we never had to say. You left your jacket behind the night we said goodbye. I thought I lost a piece of you, but I was wrong all this time. Because every faded letter, every thread that's coming loose, still carries the girl who believed in forever, and the boy who believed in you. I remember Friday football lights shining through the autumn rain, you sitting on the wooden bleachers, calling out my name. We shared a cherry coke downtown after the victory parade. You wore that jacket over your shoulders like a promise we had made. The world was small, the nights were long, and every little thing felt like it would last. You left your jacket behind, but you never really left. You're in the sound of the old school bell, you're in the smell of October air, you're in the songs on the radio shelf. Some memories don't disappear, they just learn to live somewhere else. I saw your name in the town newspaper a few summers ago. It said you built a family, found a place to call home. And I smiled, because that's what we wanted. Not a story that never ends, just two young hearts who got lucky enough to have known where it begins. You left your jacket behind, and I kept it all these years. Not because I was waiting, not because I lived in tears. I kept it because sometimes the past comes back to remind us we were young, we were fearless, we were loved. And for one perfect moment, the whole world was ours. The jacket's getting older, but the memory still fits. Some places look ordinary until they become memories. with a red and white sign outside and a bell above the entrance. I had a pocket full of nickels. You had ribbons in your hair. We weren't looking for forever, we just found it sitting there. 2 cherry sodas on the counter, 1 song playing from the jukebox. A young heart learning slowly that some moments never stop. We were only buying soda, but we were spending forever, sitting underneath those lights, talking like we'd live forever. The world was small around us, but our dreams were running wild. At that little soda shop where you first sat by my side, we were only buying soda, but we were holding on to time. You drew hearts on a napkin, I kept it in my coat. You laughed and said, don't lose it, like you already knew. We walked along the sidewalk when the evening stars hung on your hand, brushed against mine. And suddenly I felt everything. Funny how a little bottle, a little song, a little street can become a place your heart returns to when you dream. We were only buying soda, but we were making memories. The jukebox played our favorite song. The whole night felt like destiny. We didn't know those moments would become the ones we'd miss. We were just 2 young people finding happiness like this. I drove down Maple Street a few winters ago. The soda shop was gone now. There was a bank beside the road, but I stopped there for a minute and looked across the street, because sometimes empty places are where old memories meet. We were only buying soda, but we were buying something more. A little piece of summer, a little piece of who we were before. The sign may have disappeared, the jukebox may be gone, but that little soda shop still plays our favorite song. We were only buying soda on an ordinary night, but somehow that ordinary night became a lifetime. Some memories cost a nickel, but they're worth a lifetime. Someday in your heart forever. When summer storms came rolling in, we'd pull up both our seats. Mama made hot chocolate, Dad just smiled and said, rain always sounds much sweeter when you're safe at home instead. We counted every raindrop racing down the glass, never knowing those little races would someday be the past. That old window still remembers every storm we watched go by, every little handprint, every cloud across the sky. The rain would blur the whole world, but never blurred our view. Home was always crystal clear whenever I sat with you. That old window still remembers more than these old eyes can see. One October afternoon, you drew a heart upon the pane. Your fingertip wrote both our names inside the misty rain. The sunshine came an hour later. The little heart was gone, but somehow what we left behind has quietly lived on. Some words disappear, some never leave. The heart remembers things the glass could never keep. That old window still remembers snowfall, springs, and Julys. The first time that I kissed you, the last time we said goodbye. The curtains have grown older, the oak has grown so tall, but every rainy afternoon I still hear your call. Yesterday my granddaughter pressed her hand against the glass. She laughed at tiny raindrops sliding gently past. For just a quiet moment, the years all slipped away. Her little hand beside the window looked exactly like mine one day. That old window still remembers the family gathered near, not because the storms were heavy, but because we faced them here. Life keeps changing seasons, the years keep drifting through, but every time the rain comes down, it brings me home to you. That old window still remembers long after skies turn blue. Some people watch the weather, we watched a lifetime shining softly through that window with you. Storms always pass, home never does.